I have met so many women who are otherwise very tightly composed who start gushing at the mere mention of your name. And what I would love to hear you comment on is, what chord do you think you have struck, or what archetype are you providing that gets that response? Because it's not a common response. I know a lot of very successful or very famous women who do not elicit that kind of response from people. How do you explain that?
No idea.
No idea.
No idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I have perhaps a theory. I mean, the only other person I've heard elicit similar responses is Esther Perel. So I
love her.
Have to imagine she's great. That it has something to do with vulnerability, but is it just that? I mean, what is the feedback that people give you?
Okay, so I do have a theory.
Yes.
And I don't know if this is the driver of that reaction, because it's still shocking to me. Like, normally, like if I walk up and someone goes, I still like look behind me, like, what's happening? Like, or mostly I'm looking for danger because that's how
Right.
I'm wired. But here's what my new theory is. My new theory is that it's not that people I think appreciate the research, they appreciate the work, but I think what really connects to people, kind of across gender, is what they really like is watching me struggle with my own work. So rather than being someone that's like, here's what we should all be doing, and
I've got it all
figured out, I'm like, this shit sucks. Like, and if I didn't think we had to do it, I'd be like, no way in hell am I doing this.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a combination of giving people language for experiences that we all have, and then being really forthright about how hard it is for me and how much I hate it sometimes. Do you know what I mean? I think
I do.
Watching the struggle.
In the description of your new podcast,
Yes.
which will be launching shortly and is already dominating the charts with a preview. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited.
One of the phrases that stuck out to me, and I might butcher this slightly, but it was something like the magic and messiness of relationships, or the human condition, but the magic and the messiness. So maybe what you're speaking to is not providing the highlight reel, which I think is common, but,
totally.
But also giving people the lowlights, which are part of everyone's experience.
Yes, I'm like not a fan. It's like the ESPN play of the day.
Yeah.
Like there are like 5,694 pop flies missed. It's like, and then that means there's like 300 outfielders that are in a shitstorm. And, and like, to me, that's much more interesting than the play of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the play of the day. I watch the play of the day. I'm a big sports person, but I don't often make the play of the day. So,
right. Me neither.
Yeah.
Which is precisely why when every once in a while I'll talk to someone involved with media and they're like, can we shadow you for a day? And I'm like, absolutely not.
No.
It's because it's 99% just like missing the pop ball and having it hit me square in the face. That's 99% of the day. And I'm like, that's not going to make for compelling media coverage. No,
and I get asked that sometimes too, and I'm just like, well, first of all, no, because like okay, I'm making a lunch for school, for my kid going to school. I'm unloading the dishwasher, like it's, and yeah, this goes into a whole different topic. But I also have like, there's a line like, this is my life.
Yeah,
like the people I love can't follow me. Mm-hmm. So strangers are definitely not following me. I don't like anybody enough.
How did you, and I know we spoke about using a certain format for this conversation. We'll get to those.
Okay.
But I'm curious, as someone who, as best I can tell, was not trying to become famous, you gave your TED Talk that now has 35 plus million views. It's one of the top talks of all time. So it seems from the outside looking in that you were sort of thrust into becoming a public figure. How did you navigate determining where to draw lines and boundaries?
Well, I don't know. It's still a daily practice. I'm still drawing them every day and I'm readjusting them every day. But I'm so grateful that this didn't happen to me when I was younger, because I don't know there's like this working theory that a friend of mine, Jennifer, shared with me, that she said, I don't know that anyone who is trying primarily to be famous has anything interesting to say. And I think that's true. Like I didn't want to be, I don't know that I'm famous, but I didn't want to be a public person, because I'm too self-conscious for that, really, to be honest with you. Like, and I'm a tough person, but I get my feelings hurt. And so when people make fun of what I look like or what I say, or if I use the wrong word or mispronounce something, like it can take me down less than it used to be able to, less than it did, I guess. But, so I didn't really want the public part. So when that first started happening after the TED Talk, I already had a team together because I wanted to scale my work. I wanted to get to as many people as I could with my work. I just wanted to stand like down and push my work into the world. And not be, there's a lot of people whose work is in the world, but we don't know who they are.
Yep.
But again, going back to your first question, I don't think it's my work. I think it's me as a vessel for the work that resonates with people, because I think it's like a terrible paradox. It is a terrible paradox. I'm having a moment like that. It's my ordinariness that makes me relatable. And it's also my ordinariness that makes me where I take all the hits. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. And I also think, I mean, I'm not going to, I would over drinks maybe debate the ordinariness, but I do understand what you're saying. And I think that in your displaying of your fully imperfect self, which we all are, right? In that ordinariness, doing what you do and putting your work into the world as you have is extraordinary. And so I think that may be a piece of why people connect and find it so inspiring, right? As opposed to seeing like a LeBron James or whoever it is and going, well, that guy is a mutant.
Yeah.
There is that is a separate planet. There's no room for me to aspire to emulate that because it's so out of reach. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense.
Whereas when you are very vulnerable and discuss the struggle, people go, oh shit, that's how I feel. I didn't know people who do things like put work into the world in a TED Talk and this, that, and 5 best-selling books and so on could also feel that way and do the work that they do.
Yeah. So yes, I definitely feel that way. I mean, I think the people who have followed my work for a long time were kind of just growing up together and learning together. I mean, when I started, I didn't understand that I could be brave and afraid at the same time. And now I kind of live in that. I feel brave right now because I'm with you here doing this, but I'm also afraid. And I'm literally thinking, how much longer can I hold in my stomach and talk to him? And at some point, I'm just going to have to like breathe. Like, these are the things I think about, you know. And then I'm like, I shouldn't have worn the clingy like Rolling Stone shirt. I should have worn something like puffier so I could breathe. Like I'm just a normal person, but yeah, I'm just a normal. I think we're all kind of ordinary people. I get to do extraordinary things, but I think we're all ordinary people. But I think sometimes this world is tough because we shame and diminish ordinary. Ordinary lives or small lives. You know, ordinary moments are, you know, we chase extraordinary moments instead of like being grateful for ordinary moments until hard shit happens.
Yeah.
And then in the face of really hard stuff, illness, death, loss, the only thing we're begging for is a normal moment. Like, oh my God, can I please have that ordinary moment back? You know, can I please hear him come through the screen porch door? Can I please get a call from my mom or a crazy text? Like, then we want the ordinary moments. But in them, with all the noise, it's about the extraordinary right now. And I'll tell you a true story. I'm debating right now whether I should tell it or not because it's so fresh. But I just had to do a photo shoot for the podcast, like the image for Apple and everyone to use. And the photographer was great, Randolph Ford, and it was fine. It was at the Hotel St. Cecilia here in Austin, which was a really fun place to do it.
Great place.
So, and I'm like uncomfortably like, doing that, like how much is too toothy, that whole thing. And they said, well, come and look at the monitor. They're great. And then I stepped around to look at the monitor, and it was such shock to me because this was the thing playing in my mind. Like, I'm 54. I know who I am. I really like who I am. But then I'm looking at this monitor and I'm like, oh my God, because my training for 54 years has been, why are you taking pictures and having all these fancy people here when you're not perfect looking? Like this is the realm of perfect people, like models do this and stuff, but to see on these big screens with all these professional people against a white backdrop, like me, I'm like, oh my God, this is not what we normally see in a photo shoot behind the scenes, right? Mm-hmm. And it was just this moment that, like, it was such a metaphor for life. It's like I earned every single one of these effing wrinkles and stretch marks. Mm-hmm. Like, and this is the body, that raised my kids and, but that ordinariness can almost be, for those of us who haven't found a way to love it in ourselves, repulsive.
The realness.
Like, this is me. And so, like, when they were doing the photos, like get ready, photoshopping the photos, I was like, make sure that I look my age, because I don't like the like shock and awe when I show up someplace and they're like, damn, was that an old photo? It's true, but it's really grappling with, and I'm just going to say these things out loud. Mm-hmm. Do you know what, and maybe that's why people are like, oh, thank God someone's saying them out loud.
Yeah, right.
Because they're normally relegated to our secret shame lives.
Yeah.
And we all have them.